Hi, everybody. This is Christy Karate. I am here to help you understand miracle manifesting. Now, one of the things that Sherry and I have been working on is some of those emails that have been going out, and they've been really fun to work on. But one of my besties, Julia Stege, she was helping me a little bit on this, and she made this great sentence that said, and maybe you remember it better than I do, Sherry, but it said something like, it's not about manifesting your new car. It's about manifesting your greater life, right? I mean, we can have all the new cars we want. And yes, those are steps along the way. But how do we create those? And yes, Miss Susan, even a car for you, right? So, so and I have to turn off my phone because I'm like, I'm the cheetah woman, right? And anything that flashes in the distance catches my attention. So I'm going to turn this off. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to tell just a couple of quick little manifesting stories because I've just had a new recent one too. And then one also involves somebody on the call here. And I just think it really helps you understand the what do I want to say, Sherry? The enormity of manifesting miracles, not just, like I said, not princesses and parking lots, right? And so I don't even know how to turn off my phone right now. That's how. So first miracle I'm going to share is that I've had a birth defect. I always laugh and say I've had a birth defect since I was born. And, most of my life, it didn't cause me a lot of trouble. It's an unfused vertebrae. And as I got older and probably put on more weight, it started, twisting. And so I've been working with chiropractors and stuff like this. At the age of 19 is when they told me I had this. And they said, don't do heavy lifting or things like that in your career or whatever, because, it can cause problems with this down the road. Well, I didn't do it as a career. I sometimes did it, for fun or art. But as I got older, it got worse and deteriorated like it does in many people. And the prongs that hold your vertebrae around your nervous system broke about 6 years ago. And the vertebrae moved out about a half an inch, which allowed all of my spine to clamp down on my nerves. And then I started getting sciatica and things like this. Now I have people all around me go, I don't even know. I took my dog in the other day and I said, yeah, we're really working on our dog to not jump up and because I'm having a spine surgery. And she goes, you are? And I said, yeah. She says, are you in pain? I said, all the time. And she said, wow, you wouldn't even know that. I live in pain and I'm kind of grumpy. And I says, I just choose to live by joy, not by pain, right? And she goes, oh my gosh, you just taught me something, right? And so it's like, where can we live by joy rather than by pain? I am going to put myself right now on Spotlight just so that when people watch the video, they can see it this way. And so and 6 years ago, when they started seeing that I had broken this and then it was getting worse, they said, we don't really recommend surgery for this right now. And I did lots of physical therapy and everything, and I have a great life, right? Most of you know I travel a couple of times a year to foreign countries and all over the place other times, around the US. And, I live a life of joy. That's what I choose to do. And so then the sciatica pain started getting really bad, but I felt my upper back, my L5 is what it is. I thought that area was feeling really great. And I had really succeeded in doing the physical therapy, but now I was having these other pains. And so I went in to see my doctor again, and he goes, I hate to tell you this, but this is from the C5, L5, and it's really time for you to have surgery. And okay, whatever it takes, because I believe, I studied the work of Ernest Holmes. And one of the things that he said that I really loved was a prayer or a pill. right? And it's not that you just choose medicine or choose a pill or choose a surgery, but when it's done in a consciousness way, then, the divine works through the medicine, the divine works through the surgeon. We do have to pay attention and be careful, right? And there are other ways to do it. And I just went, okay, I can see that. I looked up on Mayo Clinic, and if you're interested about the surgery that I have, you can go to the Mayo Clinic website and look up PARS defect, and it's with one R, PARS defect. And this woman about my age went through the same surgery, and what she experienced was like, I want that. And so in doing my consciousness work and everything, I got referred to this doctor. We only talked on the phone, but he looked at my record. He goes, I've looked at your x-rays. I've looked at your MRI. He says, I know exactly what the problem is, and I can fix this. I've done thousands of them and they work out great. And I went, you're my guy, right? And then some of you have probably heard this story. Some of you haven't. But then I was scheduled for the beginning. So in the meantime, which is my second miracle story, I'll tell you in a minute, because Maggie, who's listed as Mom's 5C, whatever that means, she doesn't even know. I went to Europe. I led a group to Europe before in, what was it, April and May? April, and we got back early May, and my surgery was scheduled for beginning of June. And had a glorious time. That was a miracle. All of it was, but I'm going to share you one quick miracle that we had that's awesome. And then I got back and I went in for my surgery. They had put in the whatever to put the juice in. They hadn't put the juice in yet, fortunately. But the nurse is there asking me questions, and he's saying things like, did you have anything to eat after 2:00? No. Did you have anything to eat before that? Eat or drink? And I said, yeah, I had the clear liquids like I was told I could have. Like, what did you have? Did you have Gatorade and blah, blah, blah? I said I had clear chicken broth. Ding, 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 ding. I could tell he got kind of a funny look, and he starts tapping on his phone, right? They're all using iPhones now, or the wrist phones, whatever they're called. And he kind of gets like kind of weird with me. And the next thing I know, the surgeon comes in. And this is the first time I've seen him in person. What a beautiful soul. You could see him just glowing as he walked in. And I had sent him an email before saying, I know this is your mastery. I can tell, right? He walks in and he goes, well, I have some news for you. This particular surgery, you cannot have clear broth, because what it does to the bowel system and what it does to the stomach system. Most other spine surgeries you can. But this one, they happen to open you up in the front, push all your guts off to the side, and go in from the front to fix your rat. And then they turn you over and stabilize it in the back. So he goes, we can't do the surgery. And I'm like, what do you mean? I went black. And then I wait a minute, you've got to do it. No, we can't do it. I can't take your life into my hands in that way. And I'm like, and then all of a sudden I stopped. Those of you who've read my book, the flying leap moment, I stopped and went, okay, I don't know what's going on here, but the divine has to be at the helm. Okay. And so then I went, okay, we had the most lovely conversation. We talked about him going on vacation with his kids and And then he said, yeah, I want you to know that not only am I disappointed from you, you've done so much great work over the last 6 months to get here, and I'm really disappointed for you, but it's also my favorite surgery, and I'm disappointed. He says, it's the most elegant surgery. Elegant. Who doesn't want somebody performing on them that does elegant surgery, right? So anyway, that turned out, they actually got me scheduled in for 2 weeks later, and it was the perfect day. I did more of my deep spiritual work in the meantime, and I realized I still had a little more to do before the surgery. So thank you, Divine, for helping me out with that. And then I end up at 2 days after the surgery, I come home, and I've been walking because of the sciatica and stuff. I've been walking up my stairs, one at a time, bump, bump, bump. And I walked right up my stairs one at a time, like dump, bump, 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 right up my stairs. Oh my gosh. And the sciatica, by the way, was gone immediately after I got out of recovery and woke up. It's like, and it wasn't just the pain medicine because it's been gone the whole time, right? And I am also taller because as they expanded me, they call it a basket. They put it in your back. It's like, I'm taller. I am just, my life is magnificent. And I believe that there's a lot of other reasons for me having this journey of the birth defect and the surgery and things like this, to really serve other people, because that's the work that I'm here to do in the world. So, because I want to get on with our other stuff, I'm already running out of time. And the other story quickly is that my brother and his wife, who's on the call here, Maggie, they wanted to both go to Italy with me, but they also wanted to see France and Portugal as possibly moving there sometime. And so I created a concierge travel trip for them. And I had 2 other travelers come on. So it was less number than I usually had, but it was great for what we did. Mickey, some of you have been on the call with Mickey before. She's been through the course, and she's my cohort in my travel programs. But she and another woman came on the trip. We all had an amazing time, but we were traveling from France at Montpellier to Barcelona via van. I had rented as a van. We were all traveling together, and we asked our host in Montpellier, how do we find some of these little wineries around, or one of these wineries we want to check in? He goes, just head towards a small village and then follow the signs. Okay. So, right, Maggie? And yep. So we take off on this one road. We passed, before we ever saw the sign, we passed one winery. We go, oh, well, maybe we'll come back and do that. Then we see St. Eugenia, and we start following these signs down. Now, I tell these stories not for me. I tell them in hopefully an entertaining way that you get the point of this, right? And so St. Eugenia, and then the sign disappears, and we get off on this way out in the country road, which was beautiful and fabulous. And then we see another one for St. Jacques Winery or something like that. So we follow that sign. It disappears, and we come to the crossroads kind of sign, where they're all pointing different ways. And one of them says, what's it called, Maggie? It's in my head usually.
Oh God, I don't remember.
It was Bel Air. It was Bel Air Winery. And it was a little tiny, it was one of the pointy signs on there. But as we started traveling it, there was only these little small signs up in the trees, right? Yeah. Saying Bel Air Winery. And we followed them at one crossroad. We couldn't quite see it. And then somebody looked way up in the tree, and there was the little sign. We pull up finally in front of Bel Air Winery. The gates closed, and we're thinking, what's it? But there's a dog barking in there. And this gentleman walks out, and he's going out to get his mail. And I said, is this Bel Air Winery? He says, well, yes, but we've retired. Now, how is that a miracle? Maggie, you want to tell how that's a miracle?
Well, it's just the fact that we're out in the country and looking for areas in the south of France. And I thought, well, I could do this. I'd be happy there. That was great.
Yeah.
They were wonderful people.
Then they invited us in anyway, and we said, well, we still have some bottles of our wine. We'll open some and share it with you. We sat around the table. They had a daughter that has a little pottery studio downstairs, and we all got to go see her pottery and all this amazing stuff. And then we're sitting there doing our wine tasting, and I get the brilliant idea, right? I said, hey, you guys are retired. Have you ever thought of a home exchange? Right, Maggie?
Yep.
And they said, absolutely. And Maggie lives up in Oregon in the wine country up there, right? And so, and actually, Maggie, I worked on the letter today. We're getting our follow-up letters to send out. What a miracle. They said, yes, that's just what we've been looking for. Another miracle. I could just tell you miracle after miracle. Now, are you the great exception? to creating miracles. The only thing between you and creating the miracles of the life that would create joy and freedom and harmony is, who knows? You can point.
Me.
Right, my thinking. Good, Elizabeth. Yes. Okay. And why that's the good news is because that means you can change it. You know, if you're the victim means you let things outside of you affect you, right? If you let things outside of you affect you, there's nothing you can do to change it except get angry. And does that make any change? No, it usually makes it worse, right? So the good news is that through learning thinking skills, creative thinking skills, their thought methods is part of what I work with, but also the universal laws. Now, just a moment on universal. There are 3 things that I told you were going to get today. Okay. And they are, and Miss Sherry is helping me with, oh, here we go, Sherry, the double screen thing. Okay. Okay. So I told you were going to learn how to align with universal laws, how aligning with universal laws brings quicker manifestation of dreams. And I am going to actually start with that one. We're going to go through the 3 things that I promised you. And Sherry is going to bring up the iceberg. So those of you who know the iceberg will know what a great tool this is to understand the universal laws. Now, as she's bringing that up, right, Sherry, you're in there with me? Okay, so one of the things about the universal laws is that these are not made up. These are not just for anybody. Just like the law of aerodynamics exists, universal laws exist, and you'll learn more about that if and when you take the course, the Miracle Manifesting 8-week course. So, but I'm going to tell you a tool, and those of you who are on here because you know Carrie, this was, oh no, go back. You just went to the whole trick. This is Carrie's favorite tool she learned in the process. I think if you go up to the one above it and then come back down, I think it'll work. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. So the whole thing about the iceberg is just like, you know, when the Titanic only saw what was above, the circumstances and conditions of your life and your thinking that you can change things at that level all live above the surface. And you cannot see what's underneath them. So what lives up here, so I think the next slide shows us what is up here, are status quo thinking, right? That's thinking the way everybody else thinks, so that brings the thinking onto you. Circumstances and conditions. So here they are. I need another business coach to fix my problem. Another status quo thinking. I need to put more time and enough money into my business. I kind of focus on business because a lot of the people I get, but it's not only what I get, right? Or economy sucks right now. Circumstances. Okay. Remember or don't remember, but know that in the 20s, the fall of what is it? Come on, guys, help me out. One of the things that's happened in post-surgery is I'm still working on connecting my brain. When everybody lost their money, the depression of the 20s. Do you know that more millionaires were made in that time than were ever made in our history? Why? Because they were possibility thinkers. Okay, so next picture, please, where we can really make lasting change is in what's underneath the surface here. Okay, if problems actually take place here, the deeper they go, the less we realize they are running us. So just like I did my inner work for coming up to this surgery, and a lot of it was because it was a birth defect. There's stuff of my birth and my early childhood years that are still in the effect, right? I don't even realize it's running me all the time. but it is, right? So when we become aware of what's running of us, then we are able to begin to make lasting change, because all of those things are affecting what's happening up here above the surface. So let me tell you about a client that had a deep realization that changed her life and her business. I don't remember what that story is. We don't need, and you will know when you take the course, because we do this in the course, right? So the bottom subconscious thoughts are: work is hard, or should be hard. Deeper and deeper, actually, to events we only remember in our subconscious, things that might have happened in our childhood. A dog bit me as a toddler, and maybe that's why I don't like dogs. And the bottom one, which is really small down there, it says, I'm never good enough. Never good enough. Okay, so this is one of my tools for you today, is to think about, am I looking at above the surface and trying to fix it? You know, you go out and get a job, a new job, to try and make more money. If you have not taken care of what's below the surface, you will end up with the same results in the new job, no matter how much more they're paying. I will guarantee it. And we have a video in the program that shows how that works, right? Okay. So that is how to understand using universal law. First of all, there are laws in effect, and I teach all of the universal laws through this program. One of them being, many of you've heard, the law of attraction. But everything that I teach in this course is squared. It's exponentiated. It's to the power of, we go deeper than you have ever gone in any other course. I guarantee you, in understanding this, at least in a way that's understandable to people who come to see me. Okay, so what's my next point? Because you're taking up my whole screen here. Let me see if I can back out of this and get my next point. And thank goodness I have Sherry helping me with these days. Okay, so new iceberg, yes. Then the next one is a new approach that brings joy and fulfillment to the manifestation of joy in your lives. Okay, Sherry, bring up the next slide. Get back to Zoom. And some of these people, my guests that are coming on that have done the course before, they're going to share with you how they these applied for them as well. So can everybody see this large enough? I can't. What am I doing wrong? View options. Fit window. See, and also my other techie person on here is Miss Brenda. She's amazing. Okay. Oops, I can't. I have to make my screen bigger. Thank you, Sherry.
Hey. Yeah.
Okay, so we're not on that video yet. Okay. The map of consciousness, you will learn this incredibly, and I know it's made a huge impact on many people here. And this is a chart that's created by David Hawkins. You can go look it up now. And it really shows you the vibrational frequency of thought. And it will help you learn how to move out of victim thinking into empowerment thinking, and how to work with your vibrational frequencies. Let's skip that one, my dear. Let's go on to the next one, because I want to get to the things. The third thing was how to really connect with your soul. And today, just for a minute, and then we're going to get on to the people shares and then on to Q&A. But is the 5-minute meditation. And so one of the things that I really do, and you go, oh my gosh, not another meditation. This is a 5-minute candle meditation process that will at least help you start. Now, why do we meditate? One of the reasons that we meditate is because, why is it's my screen that's doing that, Miss, making it, well, maybe if I go like this.
No, it is not your screen.
Okay.
I've You should be able to see it better now, though.
No, it's still cut off halfway, at least on my screen. But anyway, the reason that we meditate, so we'll be going through this chart that you see up on the screen there, but in the candle meditation, the 5-minute candle meditation, the reason we meditate, learn to meditate is actually just like you learn to run a marathon. You start by walking, then by briskly walking, then by sprinting, you build up your muscles. And what are you building up muscles for? The muscles to be able to, oh, I see, it is my screen. The muscles to, can you go ahead and move to the meditation candle? The muscles to have your own thoughts rather than your thoughts having you. Okay, because most 90% of our thoughts are recycled. This has been proven. 90%. Where did they come from? Us growing up, the media, the teachers that we had, our best friends, or people who meant well for us. But most of our thoughts, like maybe 10%, are unique thoughts to ourselves. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the sharing screen. And you know, sometimes we have those technology things, but we always get to the content, right, peeps? Okay, so I've told my stories, and what I want to do now is to have some of you tell your stories. And I'm actually going to give a timer up here. Oh, here comes Susan Mitchell. Yay. She was on my list of people to call.
It's your birthday.
Is it Susan's birthday?
It's Susan's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. You were on my list to call today, maybe because it was your birthday. Okay, so we're just going to start. We have a couple of people on here who are new and thinking about the course. And I know many of you are thinking, oh, should I do the course again or what? So, and I always love having you. And one of the things, those of you who do take the course, and, you know, I wanted you to know, yes, I am going to tell you about my next offering, which is the Miracle Manifesting course, because I want to tell you what I have, and you don't have to take it, or you can. It's to see if it resonates with you, if you feel it will empower you. Otherwise, it's not about me. It's about me, and I love you all. Okay, so Shifra, you kind of shared with me at the beginning. I'm going to go Shifra, and then Sherry, and then Brenda, because I've already talked to you three about doing a little share of what you gained through the course. Oh, what I was saying is I'm going to put it on a little timer. I'm going to make this about 3 minutes, but I'm not going to hold you to it. It's just so that we can get to everybody. So, and this is a new thing. I think I learned this from Miss Brenda here. There we go. Okay, so go ahead, Shifra, are you ready? Oh, let me spotlight you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, let me spotlight you. So hold on.
I'm in my car.
Yeah, of course, it's fine.
I'm going to an outdoor little concert.
What fun. There we go. Here's Shifra.
Hi, guys. So I've taken Chrissy's course twice, and I was sharing with Chrissy that I made this decision to go to this very high, powerful training for my network marketing business. And it was extraordinarily expensive. Like, we're talking like something I've never paid for before. And I thought, just going to put it on a credit card. I'm just going to do that. And then I had no idea how I was going to pay for the hotel. I had no idea I was going to be paying for the plane. And I had no idea I was going to be paying for my little extras. And so, you know, you make the reservation, you know, I had the money to, you know, put the deposit down and on that. And did the plane, which I got a great rate on that, which at first it was just outrageous. And I'm like, what can I do to bring this down? And I got a really great deal on that. So here it is, less than a week before I'm about to leave. I'm figuring, what credit cards am I going to pay this all on? Oh my gosh. I got a message that I was getting this bonus on something that I had done a while ago. I just prayed, but I got the message that I was doing that. And I'm thinking, okay, they've got to deposit this money by Zelle before Wednesday. I was told about this a week before, and I'm just saying this has to be done a week before, in a week. So that Monday night before I left late, that money was deposited, and there was the money for my rest of my hotel, to pay for the plane, and I think I went out to dinner twice. All the other food was provided for me. So, and that also included money to pay for all the well, there was a bunch of us, we all traded and went back and forth, but I had to get to the airport and back, and go to the event. So it paid for Uber. So there you go. I didn't
There
know
you
how it was
go.
happening. I just asked to be taken care of, and poof,
Oof,
I was taken care of.
out of the blue.
Out of the blue,
Out
literally.
of the blue.
Out of the blue.
Yeah,
So
fabulous.
anyhow, I've taken it
Thank
twice.
you.
I know a couple of you, other Brenda and Sherry, and Elizabeth.
Yep.
I know
No,
you
I
guys have
didn't
taken
finish my
it twice.
sentence. If once you take it the first time, you will always be offered, anytime I offer it, to take the audit for $111. So you can do it as much and as often as you want for $111, right? So just like these guys did, you go deeper and deeper each time you go around. Okay, so we're going to go to Sherry, and we're going to replace the spotlight there. And Sherry and I are going, and she's actually apprenticing with me kind of right now, and also bringing her own material into the Miracle Manifesting, and going to co-partner with me through my work. So yay. And we have a love affair.
Yay, we're sisters.
As
from
I do with
another
all
mother.
of you, but this one's a different direction.
Yeah, so this has been really fun for me. I started because I had to do something, and I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're at that point where it's like, I got to do something. I don't know what, but I have to do something. And my what I was hoping for was radical change, and that's actually what I found. I've done a lot of visioning and 5-year plans and all that stuff, and it's like, if I have to do another one of those, I'm just going to blow my brains out. It's just setting me up for failure. And what I found here, and it's both Christy and the community, it's very non-competitive, safe environment where there's no vested interest anywhere, as opposed to a lot of the other things I've done, which were company-led or whatever. And there's always a vested interest. It just is built into the system, right? Of what I'm supposed to do to make the other people happy. And so different from that, what I found with Miracle Manifesting is a complete fundamental change in how I think and approach and language everything in my life. And it is, like Christy said, it's a continuing journey. There's layers and layers and layers of things that happen and that I notice. I will notice that I'm languaging things incorrectly, which means there's an old behavior pattern or old belief that's popping back, right?
And what she does is she catches me because we're working together, and she'll hear some of my stuff and she'll go, Christy, it's okay.
It's like when your kids tell you something. But anyway, so I'm noticing things, and it's not that I am learning how to manifest individual things. Just as a goof off the other day, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to start manifesting $1,000 a day. What the heck? Why not? And through an series of accidents, I ended up claiming a property that was lost. And it was like $1,800 that I have coming to me, and it was just like, I'm having my sandwich, I think I'll look at that website kind of a thing. So it does work. But the other part is that, and the most important part to me is that my entire life is different. I have the peculiar problem of walking around and being just giggly and weird and asking myself, what in the heck is going on with you? Why are you so damn happy? And then the other part, the manifesting part of me goes, who the heck cares? Right? Who cares?
And what else has happened with her?
So that's the big deal for me.
Well, but what else has happened with you is that people have noticed, people have come to my course because they've noticed the change in you. What changed in you, right? And the same with Carrie. In fact, Ingrid's here kind of because of what changed. I want some of that, right? And it really, you can see the difference in Sherry and in Elizabeth and everybody on this call, right? And from doing this work. Yeah.
So not only am I manifesting specifics, but I'm manifesting the life that I've always wanted. And what I've always wanted is to be just gloriously happy because I'm alive.
Yes.
And that has manifested, and it is delicious.
And that's a great transition for me to bring on Brenda, because one of the things I want to say is that why do we keep talking about money? Money is a tool that allows us the freedom to give our gift in the world and to make us happy and to feel good. So it's not about the money. It's never about the money. It's about what would we love. And Brenda, I think she's going to talk about this, actually manifested a really amazing thing through the work that we've done.
Yes, I did. But I think even more than I manifested the book, which I'll show you in a minute, because Christy was around when I was first thinking about it and helped me through my first online little show that didn't go really well, but I learned a lot. And one of the things that couple of things that I got out of the program and doing it the second time and going to the circles is that core values versus core beliefs.
Oh, good.
And, core beliefs are the things that run me. And sometimes they're really old and they don't serve anymore. And so I want to change those to my core values because my core values are present day. They're present time. And those values are based on the laws of attraction, the laws of attrition, the law of gratitude. I'm doing gratitude every day, almost every day. And the other thing that I got out of it is that my life, the life that I design, is worthy of me.
Yes, I love when I hear this. Oh my gosh, it makes my heart sing.
Because I have been, one of my core beliefs is that I'm not worthy.
Anybody else had that going on? Maybe still have it going on?
Yeah.
And maybe in some areas.
Every once in a while. And I am worthy because I did create my book.
You're worthy because you are divine in expression.
Right.
And
because
it showed
I'm
up
divine in expression, and because the divine wanted me to put this out there. And now I'm in the process of creating a business around it, and I'm manifesting that, and I'm learning how to manifest all of the things related to that one day at a time.
Yes. So beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so what we're going to do, if you guys, if either Elizabeth or Susan, it looks like Susan Mitchell disappeared, but anyway, is I want to go through a little Q&A, and then maybe Susan and Elizabeth may have some things to share about that. And I really want you guys to answer the questions more than me answer the questions, because this is really, what do you think? Oh, I'm still highlighting Brenda, aren't I? because I'm really highlighting, are you ready to do this work? And what is this work? And you guys are better at expressing it than me, other than through me telling all my stories, right? So, first of all, so as some of you know, I did a bridge program while I was recovering, and Sherry ran this. And there were 3 people in the course, which was on learning the 6 genius mental faculties. Genius is your birthright. And if you haven't done that, we're going to have to find another way for you to do it, because it's very powerful. And they're kind of my prototypes of doing that before they get into the program. Well, Lori Askew was one of them. And she's been in the program several times. But then Signe and Ingrid here were in that program. But Signe had to work today. And she said, this is so funny, because I don't know if you read all the emails, but is there a specific goal? Like when you're done, you'll have something like a vision or a plan, right? So one of the things that I want to say right off the bat is that I experience, and what I witness in people, is they get greater clarity, whatever arena they want clarity in. And the second thing I want to say about that is, yes, we do visioning, we do goal setting, but we do it in the exponential weighted way, the squared. And that is, and what we do in that is we actually,
He was upset.
oops, I'm going to mute you, Maggie.
Okay.
Is that we actually, that's my brother back there, I can hear him, is that we actually work with our future memory, right? We go back, Sherry, you tell this, because you tell it so well. It was one of your insights about the future vision and the future memory and the past memory.
The concept of future memory was awesome for me, because one of the things that I had to work on initially was rewriting, reverbalizing my past. Because I told stories about my past that were, I was picked on, I was not taken care of, I was and all those stories made me feel horrible, unworthy, uncared for, all that stuff. So I rewrote my past into an empowering way, which really it was very empowering. The reason for my success is that at a young age, I learned to boss everybody around. And it served me well. And then we, in another layer of learning, talked about visioning, and that visioning was really simply creating a future memory, a future story. I'm getting goosebumps as I say that, because I just love it. And so I was so excited, because it's like, well, dang, I've done that, right? I've
With your
written
past,
an
yeah.
ugly, unempowering story for my past. I can simply do that for my future and create a memory that I go visit. Just like I visit some of those ones I don't care for, I can make one that I love and care for and go there all the time in my mind. And that was so empowering for me. It was just like a big, huge light bulb went off and started sparkling and spinning, Elizabeth. It was spinning and twirling.
And so looks like Ingrid has to run, but Ingrid's already in, so she's coming on the 20th. So we'll see her next week, those of you that are coming. But I also wanted to say, so bye-bye, honey. What I wanted to say about that too is one of the things that we do is we really calm down our nervous system so that we can really experience and dream, and a lot of our nervous system is activated from our past, other things. And I actually have Susan on here that she and I am gonna, I want to replace this spotlight. Hold on, I'm trying to, so I'm actually going to come up with you. And one of the things is that somehow I'm a Sagittarius. So, I open mouth and insert foot. all the time, and I don't mean to hurt, but I hurt Susan's feelings. And it turned out to be very powerful because it was around the past and it was around trauma. And not all of us have the same levels of trauma. And I made a statement that made her feel disempowered and not safe. And of course, you guys that are in my community know that's most important. So we talked about it. And you want to share what's coming out of it? Oh, wait, unmute yourself. Unmute.
Well, we're back on track.
Yes.
I feel like I've kind of been the ugly duckling of the group.
You're just the rebel. That's it.
Simply because I am a swan. I'm not a duckling, I'm a swan.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
the whole purpose of that story. I don't know, I worked with Christy. I tried to understand the concepts. I tried to apply the universal laws, and there was just something at the time that wasn't quite hitting with me. Christy has enormous patience.
No, it's amazing, enormous love.
And enormous love.
Yeah.
And so I am a product of her willingness to serve. And I could not be more grateful than that. So for that. So what really happened for me is I needed to do a lot of work below the iceberg, below the water level. And that's what I did. And amazingly, I did pick up some things from the program that and Christy's teachings that actually really helped me. And so what happened for me is I have suffered from really bad arthritis and other conditions that I believe have been stored in my body due to traumatic experiences. And I did the work necessary. And one morning I woke up and the arthritis didn't bother me. It was kind of gone.
Yes.
And I still have more to do. So in terms of my manifesting, it's getting rid of the trauma on a cellular level. And oddly enough, then I've recently developed, I just found out this week that I have fluid on my lungs.
Of course.
But the interesting thing about that is the lungs is where grief is stored. And so having let go of all this trauma that forced my joints and so forth to be inflamed, it kind of makes a little bit of sense.
Yes,
that,
absolutely.
That now I'm healing that part of it. So I continue to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And one of these days, I will be able to manifest things like cash.
Or cars. And I want you, so what happened? You're doing this healing, and one day you get a phone call from me finally saying, Susan, where you been? Vice
Yes.
And what was so first of all, I found out that I faux pas with her, didn't create she didn't feel safe. So we worked on that and figured out that. And so now we're all goody friends again. And then I sent her a text that said what?
That said that she would like me to add a portion on trauma for the upcoming offerings. in terms of how, how trauma really affects almost all of us on some level, be it from a toxic work site, a bad relationship, some bad parenting.
Oh, yeah.
There's all this generational stuff that has totally put the family dynamic system
Yeah.
into a pandemic of dysfunction.
Oh, gosh. Yes. And so, Brenda, you can leave anytime. I'm going to pull Elizabeth up here. This will go, if you want, Elizabeth, and this will go on. But one of the things I wanted to say about that, because I want to get to Elizabeth before we have our 4 minutes up, but is that what I'm looking for from Susan is a deeper understanding put into the Miracle Manifesting program of, for those who are ready to heal trauma, how does it work within the Miracle Manifest? Because I missed the mark with her a little bit, right? So to address that. Now,
And I do want to say that I wanted to reach out to Christy, but I did not want to interfere with her surgical stuff because that was really important and she needed to have all her energy and bandwidth into that. So I was very happy when she called me and I took that opportunity to say, you know what? This is why I haven't been around.
There we go. And what a great.
One of the main things about trauma is you must feel safe.
Yes.
You have to feel safe. I just got goosebumps because I do feel safe. I mean, I love Christy. We've,
Yes.
we've met. We've met. We've had laughs. And now we've come full circle. And the fact that I have something now to contribute to the work that she does, it is incredible.
It's,
It is
collaboration.
incredible.
To me, that's the thing. That's right, Sherry. We're all like into this collaboration thing. So I'm going to jump to Elizabeth so that we can at least end on time.
Brenda, I'm so proud of you.
Great. Elizabeth, anything you want to share in answer to questions? I guess we never got to Ingrid's questions or Maggie's questions, but things you might want people to know about joining this work.
Well, clearly, I think the journey is worth it because I'm here for 3 times. I'm maybe a bit of a slow learner because each time we come back to the same concepts before, it's like, oh, right. Okay. I got that again. It's hard for me to identify a particular miracle, but I think the biggest is this, just like it's going to work out.
Trust.
Right. Yeah, right. Like there's not been like I'm worried about it now. Here's the day, and it came through. But I've just taken some bigger leaps and done some bigger things, going like, it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
Like we'll figure it out. It will happen. I'm just not going to put that much energy in.
Yeah, that's like that flying leap moment, right? Because you are becoming that person that holds that vibrational frequency. And that's one of the things that we really teach, that I really help people understand, that really makes a difference, is that you can change your vibrational frequency in the moment, and yep. Okay, everybody. So those of you, go ahead, Elizabeth, thank you. Those of you who are watching the recording and wondering if you are interested in the program, you can contact me at Christy@masteringtheartoflife. If I put that in the chat, will they get it when they watch the recording? Okay, Christy, C-H, it's Christ with an I, right? CHRISTI. At Mastering the Art of Life. I mean, don't you want to learn how to master the art of life? I live a life of my masterpiece. My my art exhibit with all my masterpieces in it. So hope this answered your question. Hope this brought you inspiration and that you will join me. Our next class is July 20th. It's on Thursday nights at 4 p.m. Pacific time, and it will go for 8 weeks straight. And currently, I don't have another one offered at the moment because of looking at life changes, more masterpieces with my husband thinking of retiring and what are we going to do? And hey, guess what, Susan? We might be spending 4 or 5 weeks in St. George. Sherry's going, why not Klamath Falls?
Cool, cool. I can't wait.
Yeah.
You know, Christy, I have to tell you, I no longer live in lack. And that has a lot to do with you and the universal laws and thinking beyond the box, not just
Awesome.
outside the box,
Yes.
but beyond the box.
Yes.
And up until now, I have not had the opportunity to let you know how important your teachings have been to me. So
Oh.
I really want to thank you for that.
Thank you, Susan. So appreciate that. Okay, everybody, going to sign off here. Contact me at Christy@masteringtheartoflife.com. And I have some special offers for those of you coming into the July 20th course that's coming up. So be sure and contact me. Take care, everyone. Turn off recording. Stop recording.